It is time once again for the weekly closes on our favorite Bitcoin miners. But before we get going, check out the channel memberships, especially that's the lag might level. That's where you get your real bang for your buck there with the real-time trade posts and members only videos. Also, before we get really into it, go ahead and comment which Bitcoin miners you're holding. Just the ticker symbol. Just start commenting ticker symbols there. If it's CLS, if it's CleanSpark, CLSK, Mara, Riot, you know, have a go. Let's see what everyone is holding and what they're into. I'm also going to add one today, one that was brought to me by a member that is actually new to Bitcoin mining, and it turns out to be a pretty big one as well. So we're going to talk about that one as well today. That's going to be a new one that I haven't covered before. So we'll actually start out with that one, so you don't have to sit in suspense and wonder what that one is. And let me just drag it to the top right now. And that's going to be Cang Inc. And they actually started off here. Let's bring up this page here. So they're Bitcoin mining, right? Across North America, Middle East, South America, and East Africa. They entered the crypto asset space in November of last year, so less than a year. And what were they doing before? International used car export business. So they were doing, used cars internationally before. They do have a PE because they have multiple arms of the business. But yeah, they had, I think you can see they shifted. They had a really insane net margin back in early 2024, and it's gone lower since they've needed to, shift with Bitcoin mining. But for some reason, they've decided that's what they're going to do. But yeah, Bitcoin mining is now 81% of their revenue, and their automobile trading is about 21 million. So they're doing, a lot more with Bitcoin than they were now. And the British Virgin Islands, obviously, that's going to be where they do all their Bitcoin mining, as you can see based on the breakdown there. Anyways, let's take a look at their chart. I've not actually taken a strong look at this chart. Look at that wick right there. Wow, that is a blow off top if I've ever seen one. Look at that. How big was that wick on a 1 week? Oh, it was so big I missed. Hold on. That was a, whew, that would have been a 50% wick. It would have gone down all the way, but it didn't. Here, let me just do this right. Boop. About a 47, 48% wick. And then it came down from that very, very top peak there. It came down about 70%. Back in March before charging back up, and we're in a period right now where it's kind of consolidating, looking for that breakout. Anyways, let's take a look here. So since November 2024, this is where they took off. So they were trading in a range between about $1.85 all the way down to about 89 cents. And then from there, they got involved in Bitcoin mining in November, right? And they went from like $2 all the way up to about $10, came all the way back down to $3, back up to almost 6, and now they're sitting at about 490. Okay, so it's a little bit about Cang. They've got about 50 exahash, so they're up there with CleanSpark, with Riot, with Mara, with Iren. All right, here's their page. You can see they've got 50 exahash. They're holding about 4,000 Bitcoin. They're ramping that up quick. Average operating 4.9 exahash. That's actually really good. And I don't know how much their electric cost is, but this one is one to watch. They came out swinging in 1 year, right up with the big dogs on exahash, and they've got about a third of the treasury of CleanSpark in that amount of time as well. So this is one to watch. I am paying attention to it now. So basically, you can see I've got my alert on here. I'm waiting for it to break this line to the upside, which it almost did here last week. And it really just needs to get there, get right back above $5. Once it cracks $5, I'd be looking for it to move back up to like 6.57, maybe even as high as 10 as things heat up. I would also be watching to respect this trend line here. Let me see here, about right here maybe. Yeah, about right there. I'd be looking for it to respect this trend line right about there. There we go. Get a little room there. Let me lock that down. I'd be looking for it to respect that on the way. So come and then bounce off that again and then go way higher. So that's what I'm looking for on this one. And honestly, who knows how high this can go. It hasn't been tested before, so who knows what it's going to do this cycle. Let me see, what's their market cap right now? They got a $500 million market cap. Yeah. So if they go up to, let's just say CleanSpark's market cap, which is 2.76 billion, 2.76 billion. Right now, this is only at 500 million. So that would be looking at what, a 4x to go to 2 billion, 5x to go to 2.5 billion. So we'll go there. So 5x from here, you'd be looking at about $24 is what we could expect if it just hits CleanSpark's market cap. So we're watching this one now. I like this. I like this one. I like the way it is shaping up. Right now, I would be looking for it to get above that this line here, above $5 on the volume profile there, and then start creeping up from there. We do see that the BX trender is not in favor of it right now. It is showing sell pressure still, so I'd want to see a light red on that one before I'd really be interested. But the RSI is not too bad. The RSI is not too bad there. You can see the RSI is just chilling at 54. It is below the average, but you know, it's chilling at 54, so not too bad. All right, let's move on to CleanSpark. How's CleanSpark doing? A decidedly different chart from Cang, Cang, I guess we'll call it. Anyways, yeah, we basically came to that 200-day moving average, which we expected. I'd really like to see it not break the 200. I'd like to see it hold the 200 if it's going to continue to come down. And then if it does break the 200, I do not want to see it get beneath 750. Anything under 750, I'm going to start getting very concerned about CleanSpark. But we are looking at we're still looking at a bit of an inverted head and shoulders. You can see the left shoulder there back in September of 2024. And then we had that neck down to the head here in March, and then we came up in July, and now we're forming that other shoulder. And if we round this off and go up out of this thing, we should see it come to $18, $19, $20 off of that inverted head and shoulders. And honestly, with how big this is, it could go a lot further because we have not cracked up above $20 again. Now, once we get above $20, like honestly, once we get above $20, $25, that's the real test. Above $25, nobody holding CleanSpark is underwater at all anymore once we get there. And then it's just running sky high from there. If we can get there, this is the big thing. We have tons and tons of resistance here between 25 and about 18 right there that we built up in 2024, early 2024. We've really got to get through that. And you can see that on the volume profile here on the right, there's this big gap right above $10, but it's going to stop you in your tracks at $15.79, and then it's going to hold you down all the way up to about $18, $19 until it gives you any kind of relief at all. So, but I am still holding most of my CleanSpark warrants. I did sell half my stack a little while ago, and the Stalagmite members know exactly when I did that. So I did sell them somewhere around 36, 37 cents, something like that, like on this green line here. And it bled down. It hit 19, right? It hit 22. Sorry, why did I think it hit 19? Maybe that was a daily wick it did. But it hit 20. No, it was 22. It hit 22, and then it hit 24.99 the other day, this week, at one point this week. And now it's starting to creep up. Now, it's not doing this very well. So I'm going to redraw this line just a little bit further out. I know that's moving the goalpost, but I really want to see it get and like hold something significant. We can see the 20-week is starting to slope here, so that's pretty good. The 7-day is still straight down, so that's gotta curl up. And once we get rolling, this could be a really nice move. So let's see, what do we get? Hey, computer, give me my measuring tool. Okay, about right there and about right there. Yeah, we did go be underneath the midpoint on that, so that's no longer going to be a cup and handle. So we really need to see it crack this, get up above 52 cents, and from there, then it's got lots of room to run up into the 70s, 80s. So hopefully we can see all that come out of CleanSpark warrants. I'm still holding I've got 13,000 left. I'm still holding those for now. And if I'm going to add to CleanSpark, it probably won't be warrants. It will probably be long call options out until 2026. Just like I've been doing with Mara, just like I've been doing with Wulf, not Wulf, HUT, and HIVE. And of course, nothing I say is financial advice and not a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever. Do your own research, come to your own conclusions, and you are responsible for your own risk. I'm just some guy on YouTube. Check out Iren. Iren's been on fire. Look at this thing. It will not stop. Let me turn off the drawings. It just won't stop. It's just going up, 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 respecting the 7-week moving average over and over and over and over again. Like, just look how it's respecting it all the way up. I really wanted to see that move out of this cup back here. Didn't get it. And then it dipped so much further than I thought it would, and then went just raging up. That's crazy. Iron's just nuts. It's really overheated. I mean, will it keep going? Possibly, maybe. They get some AI deals, yeah, probably. I don't like buying Bitcoin miners on their high though, so I'm out of this one for now. That one kind of left me behind there. I made some money on the way up on call options, but man, I should have just held those. Oh well, what can you do? I made my money on Iren, and twice, and now I'm just kind of locked out, and that's all right. That's not the end of the world. But if you're in Iren, yeah, you're doing great, and congratulations to you for holding through all that mess and not taking profits and early. Doing pretty great. Sometimes it works out that way, sometimes it doesn't. But I work off rules, and rules say take profit at certain points, and that's what I did. And as a result, I made money, but I could have made more, and that's it's the story of the market. It's all right. Let's go to Mara. How's Mara looking? Mara, it's down on its dumps, and I've been saying for weeks now, I've been accumulating down here in my Mara. Everyone owns Stalagmite knows exactly when and where and why I've been doing that. I mean, you're going to get the Y right now. It's basing, right? There you go. There's the Y. It's basing. We did get printed green on the BX trender. We are about to get a cross up on the weekly RSI on Mara. So weekly Mara is looking pretty good right here. And I am feeling good about this right here, especially since we came to the bottom of this ascending channel right here. Let me turn off some stuff. So this one, there we go. And let me turn off two. Why is that one even on? This channel right here, this ascending channel, we came to the bottom of it. We started basing out, and we're holding that line. We have not got a candle detached from it. Yes, we wicked down pretty hard, but this candle is still touching it. So we've not had a candle on the weekly basis come outside of this ascending channel. So this is the point where we could see it shoot all the way up to the top of that channel again, very quickly and violently into the 20s. So that's what we're looking at. And if it can do that, then we end up back inside of this larger ascending channel here, where we could see ourselves flying as high as in the 40s if things get euphoric. So as you can see, like the very first candle that we could have known Mara was screwed and not coming back was this one right here on February 2025. See how it's completely detached from the channel? That would have been the time to go short and hold until you got a big engulfing like this one over here or something. I probably would have got out of here, honestly, because that like came up pretty hard. But yeah. And then it started channeling here, and once if it breaks this channel, yeah, we're going to go further. If it gets back into this channel nicely and shoots up, then great. And then if it can get out of this, break out of this channel here, then we're looking at entering that much bigger channel that could take us up to 40 on Mara. So I like the way Mara looks right now. I like this discount range right here. Like if we do a fib, if I run a fib from here to here, you can see that, look at the body of this candle. Now we wicked beneath the 786, but the body of the candle closed just above the 786, right? The body opened, sorry, just above 786 there. And then it drove lower and then came higher off that 786 level. And if we can break the 618, which is at 1652, then we've got room all the way up to 1842 on this bad boy. So that'll be nice. That's what we're looking for right now. Okay, that'll be really ideal. It came down to that perfect discount zone and it started charging up. So that's what we want to see it continue to do. Riot, look at that. Riot's looking pretty good. We got a nice green one on the BX. We got a cross up on the RSI, a confirmed cross up on the RSI. We bounced off this ascending trend line here. We bounced off of this volume spike here on the profile. And this is looking good. Now, this could be considered a very bullish look right now, just because it went up more than 50% of this big red boy here. Okay, so this is pretty bullish right now. We'll see what next week brings, because Bitcoin's been a little weak over the weekend. It's kind of wavering up and down right now. So we'll see. Let's see where the SMAs land. Yeah, we came down to the 200 week and we bounced off of that, and that's pretty bullish. I like that. There's not too much in my way here to go up. Like they could climb right back up to 15, 16 bucks. So I like the way that looks. We'll see what happens on Monday with Bitcoin. But yeah, this Riot's looking better than it's looked in a really long time lately. So if you've been in Riot, you've just been in this climb. And as soon as we get back above 1457, like the climb is just going to continue higher. Let's take a look at Cifr. How's Cifr? Same thing, Cifr. Wow, Cifr's looking good here too. We came down on the 618 off of this pullback, bounced off of it hard. The next level is at $7.13. So like that's really the next place it's going to stop us. And look at this on the volume profile on the right, we're above all that resistance on the weekly, all of it. Let me get rid of this. We don't need this anymore. All of it. So like once there's not really anything in its way right now. This thing can go up all the way to like 8, 9, 10, even $10. There's really nothing to stop it right now. I'm just cleaning up my chart a little bit. Yeah, that's it. That's all I gotta say about that. This one's looking great. Let me get rid of this green one too. Get rid of this one down here. I don't think it's coming back to that. Yeah, I'll remove it. Okay. Yeah, Cifr's looking great too. I like it as well. This looks like a little more of an exaggerated version of the Riot chart at a lower level, so it can possibly like move. I wouldn't be surprised to see Cifr in the next like couple months get up to like $10. And then same with the warrants. The warrants are looking really good for Cifr. Yeah, it's looking like it wants to come back up to like that 276 level at some point on a spike. So not bad, not too bad at all. Let's take a look at Corz. How's Corz looking? So it's been just honestly, it's been sideways since that announcement that CoreWeave was going to acquire them. You can see the buying pressure has just been coming down, and the RSI has been going flat ever since July. So when that news came out, and it's just getting stuck between this 382 and the 786, and it's just barcoding here and here until that is solidified, until the deal is concluded with that one. We're not going to see anything out of Corz, and you're either going to end up owning CoreWeave because Corz won't exist anymore, or that deal will fall through and CoreWeave will either be out of that stranglehold of volume that it's been in, or it'll be a whole new company, or maybe it'll shoot out and expand, but we don't know yet, and that uncertainty is holding Corz back, which is also impacting their warrants. So I mean, honestly, I wouldn't trade this one until that is figured out. Just like when Bitfarms had that issue with Riot, I was like, I'm stepping away from it, and I did not go back to touch it again until afterwards, which I think I'm gonna have to make a move on that right now because I'm running out of time. Bitfarms kind of stalled out. We'll talk about that here in a moment. Take a look at HUT real first. First before that, HUT's one that I got in on this bull flag here. So we flagged for 4 weeks in a row and then popped real nice. Now we got a doji, so it means that HUT is totally okay holding here. And I don't like that. I'd like to see it push up to about 30. That's where I'd start letting go of my HUT. I'm a little upset about that actually. It came up and then it's just boom, flag. And then last time we got a big green and then a doji, we got this flag that gave back 70% of that big green. If we did that right now, I'd be coming all the way back down to about $20 and 60 cents and wipe out all my gains. I'd be pretty upset about that. So hopefully next week we see this thing continue, or I might be letting it go until later in September. We'll see. We'll see what happens next week on HUT. And if you're in Stalagmite, you'll get that alert right as I do it. Take a look at Wulf. What's going on with Wulf here? This thing is on fire. This thing is just absolutely on fire. Even with this big red candle up here, it's still up 2% on the week. The week before we were up 78%. This thing is getting bought up by Google as a strategic partnership. Yeah, I don't even know what to say about this. I don't know what this thing's going to do anymore. We got this huge fair value gap all the way down to 528. Will that fill? I have no idea right now. Like, I honestly don't have anything I can say about Wulf. It is crazy strong right now. The move was absolutely euphoric. Google is getting involved in this tiny little company that's, it's now got a $3.59 billion market cap. Its market cap is now larger than CleanSpark. All of a sudden, let's see, how's it compare to Mara? It's a little more than half of Mara. It's almost on par with Iren, but it's now bigger than CleanSpark. What about Riot? It's getting close. It's $1 billion off from being as big as Riot. What about Corz? It's almost on par with Corz. It's bigger than Cifr, and it's bigger than HUT. So yeah, Wulf just like got absolutely up jumped like crazy from that Google involvement, and it's way outside of the Bollinger Band, so I would expect it to come back down to at least $8, but that doesn't mean it has to. Like, if it stays up here, if it can hold up here long enough, the Bollinger Bands will just move up there with it, like it's done back here in the past. You see the Bollinger Bands just moved up with it. Yeah, so that's crazy. I don't know what to say about that. I won't be buying it because I don't buy things at their highs like this, but I gotta say it is impressive. Let's look at HIVE. HIVE's another one I got in on this little pullback here, this bull flag that came out, and these have been just nice. I've just been adding to these as we go. Like every couple of days I've been buying a few more call options on this one, and if you're a Stalagmite, you get those alerts and you know exactly what strike, what date, and when I'm doing it. I do think HIVE's got a lot to grow here. They're at what, $540 million, so they can quadruple up. They can 5x, 6x possibly. I really think it's going to get probably at least up into the 3s, maybe in even 5, 6s, possibly if things get euphoric. Like, my euphoric target is like the bottom of this previous structure here, back here from 2021, like the bottom of that, somewhere around 8. or 11. That's like my ultimate euphoric level, though. That's like everything's going nuts, everything's firing on full cylinders, nothing's in the way. But who knows if that'll happen? I'm not holding my breath for it. I'll probably dump a part of my stack around 3, another part of my stack around 455, and then like hold a third or so in runners to see if they go up any higher, and if it comes back down to the 3s, I'd let go of the rest of it. Is what I would do. And of course, nothing I say is financial advice. That's just what I'm thinking when I look at these things. Bit farms, I bought around on this candle here, around like 116, 117. And with the expectation of this double bottom coming through and it pushing up through the 50 up to about 170. I gave myself till September for that, so I'm going to have to end up rolling those here in the next week or so. Otherwise, I'm going to get wrecked on that. But whatever. What can you do? That's all right. Anyways. It really needs to do it in the next week or two. Otherwise, I'm going to have to roll these out for a loss because I do still see the double bottom coming through. I do still see it hitting 170, possibly even pushing for that $2 mark here in the next couple of months. But look, as soon as I bought in, it just stalled out, and I've just been getting theta burned the whole time on that position. So it's been moving up ever so slightly, but not enough to make money. It's just been burning that position out from under me, and I don't like that. So it's getting kind of annoying, but this double bottom is holding. It's holding, which means it is structurally there, and it is ready to move up to about that $2 level. It just needs a reason, and it hasn't found that reason yet. So I'm probably going to end up rolling those out next week, and you'll see that if you're in stalagmite exactly when I do that. But that's what I'm looking at. See the double bottom. I'm looking for that 170, possibly a push to 2. But it needs a reason, and it hasn't gotten it. It hasn't gotten that reason, so it's just been going sideways ever since I got in. So I'm probably going to have to let that go and roll it out to the end of the year and hold half of what I'm holding now to that point in time. Let's take a look at Btdr. How's Btdr doing? Btdr, I don't like Btdr right now. So look at this. Here, I'm going to draw something for you. So we go here, about something like that. And this one right here, we're getting a pennant. We're getting a pennant. It's going to break out of this pennant one way or the other. I'm assuming to the upside because it's Bitcoin related, but this thing's been getting punished ever since May. Just absolutely punished, getting lower highs and higher lows ever since. So at some point, something's got to give. It's got to break out or down. I am leaning towards out. I'm looking for it to break out and push to $20. That's what I'm looking for. But it needs to get above that line first. I don't trust this thing below that line anymore. So I have been in it occasionally. It pushed up. I believe I made a little bit of money on this one. Looking for it to get solidly above this line and then push into the 20s. That's the only time I'd be interested in Btdr. It's been proving that it's kind of a money sink for the last several months. So the buying pressure is coming through on the BX, but it's light. The RSI is above the average there, but you can see it is also barely hanging on there to it. It's gone flat. So it's got to break out of that pennant. Otherwise, I'm not touching it until it does that. To the downside, we could see it come down to about 1124, but I really want to see it come out and go towards that $20 level. Btdigital, this one's going to be all Ethereum now, and they haven't been doing as good as the others. So if we go to BMNR, last week BMNR was down actually 7%, but it was down a lot worse, I guess, at the beginning. And this one was only down 4%, so maybe I should stop crying. Btdigital, yeah, once it breaks this line, I'd be looking for it to quickly come up to about 358 and push 440, 450 again soon after. I wouldn't be surprised by that. But yeah, it's they're purely going to be ETH with a small amount of Bitcoin mining now because they've spun off their AI side of the business as a new ticker called White Fiber. Ticker symbol WYFI, White Fiber, and I'm not getting into that one either. And I've been kind of steering clear of Btdigital now. I'm more in favor of BMNR or SBET, but I am more leaning towards BMNR just because that Tom Lee involvement give you that rock star, in the executive suite, which brings a lot of eyes and a lot of money. So I'm more interested in BMNR than Btdigital, but I'll cover it anyways because it was requested by a member, so I'll keep covering this one. Once it breaks this line, I'll be looking, for 350, possibly 450. On the downside, I'm still looking at that 250 level. as an area that we might come and touch again. We did come all the way down to about 261, so it's just 11 cents off before to hitting my level there, where I think that it would bounce pretty hard. So watching both of those levels pretty closely. We'll go take a look at CAN real quick. CAN is doing exactly what I thought it would do. Still, I think that this here is exactly what we're repeating this year. It's going to go flat, 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 flat till late October, and then it's going to pop up to 197 or 242, something like that, and then from there crash again. So honestly, that's all I'm looking for it to do, right? Do a little peak a little bit lower than this one before, so something like 287. So from like 75 cents, 60 cents to 287, and then roll right back over and come all the way back down to 80 cents or so. I don't think it's going to do anything differently than last cycle, or last year, excuse me, than last year. We went all the way until the end of October and then pop, woo! So I might buy 1,000 of these bad boys, at like 90 cents or something, and then just hold and wait. And if November doesn't get a big pop, I'd let it go. I just sell it for whatever price by the second, third week of November. And then if I did get a pop up to the 200-week moving average, I'd probably sell most of it and let a few runners, like maybe let a third of it continue on and see if it's going to hit 280 or 290, and then I'd sell the absolute rest of it. Let's take a look at Soluna. How's that going there? I've got a decent little chunk of Soluna that I bought down here now after I took a loss on the 100 shares I bought back at $3. And it fell down to less than $1 here, so I bought about 100 in here. I sold that all down here because I was like, well, that's suck. Not down here. I sold it somewhere on the way down. Like maybe it was like 182 where I let it go. And I said, well, that's done. And then I waited and waited and waited and waited, and it's come down and it's on its lows right now. So I am expecting a very similar showing out of Soluna. I'm expecting it to continue to be suppressed, and then sometime around November, I'm expecting it to pop up and probably pop up to about, again, that 250 level, but this one might even hit 355, maybe even as high as $4. So that's what I'm looking for out of Soluna as well. I've been collecting these. I've got a couple thousand. I might add to it a little more. I don't know. I might put what I was going to add into CAN around the end of October. So keep an eye on that if you're in Stalagmite. And that's it for the Bitcoin miners. Oh, I did get a request to look at MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy, it's still doing exactly what it was doing before. This is the fractal from 2021, is doing that. I don't think it's going to do any different. So let me turn off a lot of my stuff right now. So let's turn this off. Okay, so this line, I don't need this line anymore. That one can go away. This line I'll keep, but look at the fractal. Look at that fractal. I know fractals aren't, really gospel, but look at this thing. It went up big, came down, and then it's just barcoding exactly with this fractal. So we're at a point where we're probably going to see it crawl back up, and it might even make a higher high, right? If we go here, it might even make a higher high than it did before, right? We might come back up to about 456, but we might even push up to like 489, maybe. And then I'm looking for that December, see this December dump into March, and then June for a base. June, September for a base. Again, that's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm expecting out of this thing. I don't see anything different coming for MicroStrategy. Even if Bitcoin unless Bitcoin like goes berserk and hits like 200,000, I really don't see it going back up to 541. But I can see it going from where it is right now, crawling back up to maybe 430, 450, possibly 480. But I don't see it running for the high again. I feel like it's met its high, unless Bitcoin does something unexpected at this point. So MicroStrategy, yeah, I mean, it might push up, let's see, it could maybe push up, another 25% again. It might push up, maybe 30%, but I really don't see it going any higher than that without Bitcoin doing something exceptional here. So that's all I got about that. Same kind of thing with BMNR. Like, I don't think Bitmine is going to come back up to $160 this cycle. I don't necessarily see that. Even if Ethereum hits 10,000, unless Ethereum hits like 15,000, then I can see it doing that again. But without it, no. Because I mean, where is Ethereum on June 30th? Right. Let's take a look. Where is Ethereum on June 30th? On June 30th, Ethereum was trading at $2,600. Okay. Bitmine was trading at $161 when Ethereum was trading at $2,600. Okay, let that sink in for a second. We are nearly 100% up, not quite, but nearly. We went up 93% from the day Bitmine peaked on Ethereum, which is its major underlying asset. Okay, let that sink in. The underlying asset is up 93% since this peak right here, 160. Where are we at Bitmine if you bought it there? You're down 70% while the underlying asset is up 93%. It is not going back there. All right? It's not. It's not going to happen. Not this cycle. Not unless Ethereum does something exceptional. And something exceptional would be going twice as high as everyone thinks it's going to go. And everyone already thinks it's going to hit 10K, right? So it's got to hit 15, 20, 25K, or we're not going back there on Bitmine, okay? Let that sink in. I know a lot of people aren't going to like hearing that, but that is exactly how that's got to be. You got to understand it. So if you bought it at 161, like I wouldn't hold it waiting for 161. You're going to be waiting until 2028 or 2029 rather for it to do that. Okay, so just wrap your brain around that. In the meantime, we're going to fiddle around here where we're currently at. We're going to fiddle around probably between $72 and $46 until Ethereum breaks its previous all-time high. Then we might see ourselves get up towards that, $70, $80 range. Maybe on like the highest peak when we hit $10,000 per Ethereum, we might hit $100. And then if Ethereum does something exceptional, we might come and tap that previous all-time high in Bitmine. Same with SBET, honestly. Same with SBET. Where was SBET? Oh, look. Back May 27th. Where was Ethereum on May 27th? I can promise you it was a lot lower than it was now. May 27th was our peak up here at $124. Where are we now? That the underlying asset everyone cares about it with this stock is up 93%. This one's down 83%. We're not going back up to $124 unless Ethereum does something exceptional. And I mean exceptional. We might revisit 40. We could revisit 52, maybe even 60 on a good day. 124, don't hold your breath unless Ethereum is trading way above expectations. So that's just a little reality check for everybody there. And I think that's everything I got for you. Sorry, I got a little excitable at the end there. But that's all I've got for you today. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this video. YouTube's been really holding back a lot of my videos lately. So if you could hit that like, if you could do the share, comment down below, that would be really, really helpful. Check out the channel memberships. Stalagmites, where you get the best bang for your buck there with those real-time trade posts and members-only videos where I give you insight into what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. Of course, nothing here or there is financial advice and not a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever under any circumstances. You must always do your own research, come to your own conclusions, and you are always responsible for your own risk. And remember, when investing is risky, you can lose it all. I don't win all the time. I do lose, and you will see it, and I will post it when I do. Anyways, Soda Straw is also an option there. $4.99 a month. You get the badges, you get the emojis, you get early access to the videos, about 20-30 minutes while they are processing. Also, priority reply to comments and Stalactite. You'll get those member shoutouts along with everything else in Soda Straw. And with that said, have a profitable day.